No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. This is a quote from Albert Einstein. To many different people, this can mean many different things, but to me, it involves depression. Over 38,000 Americans die by suicide every year. This number alone is a big problem, but not to mention, a good portion is teens. An example is one of my best friends was severely depressed and attempted to commit suicide. And he didn't go through with it, and he got the help he needed, and he's better now. But many teens nowadays, like him, are struggling with depression. Although many get help, many feel they don't get enough help, and we could all spend more time giving these kids the attention and help they need. To some, this may not sound like a big deal, but it could save one of your friends' or family's lives. So, first off, let's talk about America's youth and their problem with depression. Depression, although it affects teens, it also affects a lot of people. According to everydayhealth.com, 23 million Americans are affected by depression every year. That's a gigantic amount. And although it was just stated that it does affect many people, it affects teens even more. As stated on DoSomething.org, 1 in 65,000 children ages 10 to 14 die by suicide every year. That's a very large number of kids that die every year, and that's just for ages 10 to 14. That's not including 15 to 19. And also something stated on DoSomething.org is suicide is the third leading cause of death for 15 to 24-year-olds. This includes the 15 to 19-year-old range, and the third leading cause is a gigantic problem. Could be accidents, murders, and so forth, but no, it's suicide. And they probably could have been prevented. Now, it may not seem like a problem to you because you may not have anybody near you that's affected, but it's very likely that someone close to you has been affected or has someone affected by depression. According to everydayhealth.com, nearly 1 in 14 people in the world are affected by depression. Now, 1 in 14 doesn't sound like a very large percentile, but that's about nearly 500 million people. This could mean just about anybody near you has someone affected by depression. Now you can see the seriousness of the problem. So, next off, we'll talk about how we can help people with depression. Now, I'm not saying that nobody gets help. There are things like Suicide Hotline, where if you're having a crisis, you can just go and talk to them. But this does not mean that kids will call the number, and many counselors say you can go to them for help, but many don't feel welcome to talk to the counselor. The first thing you need to notice are the problem signs. One thing is loss in motivation. They just don't feel like doing anything. Another is anger. They just seem to be mad all the time. Another is they're tired. They just can't seem to stay awake. The list can go on, but you just need to try and notice things out of the ordinary and ask them if they're okay. So, next off, we'll focus on how that we know they have depression. First off, according to childmind.org, is to be supportive. Try to build up a strong relationship with them. Try to show empathy and try to put yourself in their shoes. Try to support their good choices and make them happy with their choices. Make them feel confident in their decision making. According again to childmind.org, is to accentuate the positive. Make them know that the good stuff is good and worth it. And if they get an A on the quiz, let them know that that's awesome. This will make them strive for the small things in life that'll make them happy. Last up on the list is helping the kids get help. Treatment will work for a lot of kids. Just try and help them, push them to go and get treatment, A lot of kids don't feel like treatment will work for them, so they don't go for treatment. Now, back to my friend earlier that I talked about. I noticed his problems. I was super supportive of his choices and always tried to make him positive every day. And now, you can say that because he's tempted to commit suicide, that it just wasn't working. But he said that day that he stopped because he noticed all the things in life that made him happy. And that's why he stopped and went and got the help that I so hardly pushed for him to do. And now you may say that we've already given help like this to kids, so why do we need to offer more help? Well, just because it's there doesn't mean that kids feel comfortable using these situations. My friends didn't like hospital medicine, so he thought he would just tough it. And it got so bad that he almost committed suicide. And so he got the help he needed, and he may not have liked it, but it helped him. So it may not seem like a lot, but not a lot is needed to give these children to give them help. So let's talk about the future. Last is talking about why helping is so beneficial. Now, helping others is good not only for you, but for them too. According to mentalhealthamerica.net, it makes people happier. If you know that you saved a person's life, that would make you happy, knowing that you saved a life. And especially if it's a friend or family, that puts you just right up over the moon. And back to mentalhealthamerica.net, it also says providing emotional support can help reduce harmful effects of stress. So not only would you be helping the person back up from rock bottom, but you wouldn't be as stressed. You'd become healthier, be able to manage things better. And not to mention, it could be helping a family or a friend. If a family member, you would do all you could to help. Same for a friend. So if you were learned that people weren't doing anything to help your family or friends when they needed help and they noticed the signs, you would be mad. So take some time and help people by helping yourself. You'll help them and you'll help yourself. No big problem with this. A lot of America's youth deals with depression today. So, it doesn't take a lot to give these kids help, but they need it. And not only that, you're going to be helping a person from a low place, and you'll be helping yourself by helping them. And everybody wants to be happier and healthier. So, go to a person you know is affected, or help someone who you know has someone that's affected. Go talk to them and give them whatever support they need, emotional, physical, etc. Just go over now and help them. So, in the next week, if you know someone that's having a problem, go and help them.